Welcome to this tutorial on using an Excel user form for collecting data on urban households. In the next few minutes, we will walk through the Userform's features, focusing on how to efficiently input and manage information related to household structure and status for census purposes. You'll learn how to navigate the form, enter data accurately, and ensure that all relevant details are captured effectively. This guide is designed to help you make the most of the user form, enhancing your data collection process and ensuring comprehensive insights into urban households. Let's get started. So these are some of the workbooks I have created. Please feel free to watch some of my overview tutorials on them. However, the census user form we are going to use now is notably different from all these workbooks. I have created a macro which, when I double-click the census user form, it won't open the worksheets, but it will just open like our application, where you won't see anything in the background at all. Double-click the user form, as you can see, it did not open any sheets. Click on Close, and immediately you will be asked whether you want to edit the file or not. Just click No, and it will close without any issues. Let's open it again. Now I have separated the questions into 4 distinct forms, and this is our first form. Each data entry made in each form will automatically update the respective worksheet when you click OK to submit the data at the bottom left corner. To move to the next form, simply click the Next Page button located at the bottom right corner of each form page. So, click the Next Page button, and then click it again to see all the forms available. Now, if you click the Previous Page button, it will take you back to the previous page seamlessly. So basically, that's how you can use the buttons on each form page. You see how cool and different it is from the traditional workbooks. Just click the Close button, and now in this small window, we have seen that if you click No, it will close the user form. However, if you click Yes, another window will display again for your convenience. Now, this Enter Password window is for security reasons. As you know, sometimes you might want to ensure that not just anyone can see all that you are working on, so the best way is to use a password. If you want to learn more about protecting worksheets and workbooks, please watch my tutorial on Excel worksheets versus workbooks. I will provide the link in the description below for your reference. So now, let's enter the password for this user form, and when you're done, click OK to proceed. Now we are in the worksheet, and we are now able to make edits as we want without restrictions. But on this first worksheet, we have 2 buttons. The first one is called Show Form. If you click it, it will display that form we previously saw, but now the worksheets will be behind it for your convenience. Next, click on the Lock Forms button, and immediately you will be notified to be faithful, in other words, not to tamper with someone else's data in this worksheet. If you click OK, another window will pop up asking you to enter the sheet name, and these are the sheet names listed at the bottom, from Form 1 to Form 4 questions. For now, click Cancel, and because we did not enter any sheet name, this error message will display. Click OK to close it and return to the previous screen. Now let's take a look at our worksheets. You see this Form 1 questions data, and it has only 2 rows which were entered previously. Our Form 2 questions captures this type of data. And as you can see, only 3 rows of data are entered in this section. Then, our Form 3 questions worksheet collects this type of data, and it has 4 rows that have been entered successfully. Lastly, we have our Form 4 questions, and this captures limited data, as it has only 2 rows entered in total. Now, we want to test how the data will be entered if we use the user forms effectively. To enter data, simply click the input box and then type in the required information clearly and accurately for each field to ensure completeness and consistency in your records. Let's put this process on fast forward as we would like to quickly enter everything necessary for this Form 1 in a timely manner, allowing us to efficiently gather all relevant data without unnecessary delays and ensuring that we meet our data collection goals effectively. Now, for this household head question, it can be answered by either yes or no, and when you select yes, the macro will automatically replace it with a 1 in the worksheet. So for now, let's click yes to proceed with the process smoothly. For the ID, you need to enter the household head ID number accurately. Then, please enter the name of the interviewer for proper identification. Next, provide the cell or contact number of the interviewer for future reference and communication. To submit this data into the worksheets correctly, we have to click the Submit Data button located on the form. When you click it, a message will display confirming that the data was saved successfully for your review. Click OK to acknowledge this message, and to reset the form for further entries, just click the Reset Form button. A message will then confirm that the data was cleared successfully, so just click OK to close it and complete the process. Now we have seen how we should enter data in the input boxes on the Form 1 page. Now, in this Form 2 page, we are going to see how we can use the drop-down lists to enter data in this user form effectively. If you want to know how to create drop-down lists in Excel worksheets, check out my lesson on data validation. I have included the link in the description below for your convenience. Just like we did before, manually enter the name of the household member in the appropriate field. Now, for the relationship to the household head, click the drop-down list and select the correct relation. For all the drop-down lists on this page, this is how you will enter the data consistently. The drop-down lists will streamline your work, making it easier and preventing any misspellings of the information required to be entered. So, do this for all the questions, and if you want to edit the data entered, you will have to edit it in the worksheets. However, to edit, you need to know the password. Please note that I am just demonstrating how to use this feature. You can choose your own answers as you see fit. And just as we did before, simply click the Submit Data button to enter the Form 2 data into the Form 2 questions worksheet effectively and accurately. You can also click the previous button to enter new data. However, please note that when you enter new data, this information will be added to a new row in the worksheet. We will discuss how we can edit data entered in another lesson dedicated to Excel user forms for your convenience and understanding. But now, let's click on the Next Page button to proceed, and let's take a closer look at this Form 3 page together. Now, this page features only drop-down lists, and as you can see, most of the drop-down lists contain two categories for selection, making data entry streamlined and efficient. The disadvantage of clicking the Next Page button without first submitting the data is that your entries won't be saved in the worksheet. This means any information you've entered will be lost, and you'll have to re-enter it later, leading to potential data loss and extra work. Always remember to submit before navigating away. Now, this last page, Form 4 Questions, primarily addresses several important issues concerning disability and chronically ill household members, including children within the household. It aims to gather essential information that can help identify the needs and challenges faced by these individuals. One advantage of collecting information on the structure and status of an urban household is that it helps identify specific needs and challenges faced by families in urban environments. This data can inform targeted policies and programs, improving resource allocation and support services, ultimately enhancing the quality of life for residents in those communities. Using Excel user forms in data collection offers several advantages. First, they provide a user-friendly interface, making it easier for individuals to input the data accurately without needing extensive Excel knowledge. User forms also help ensure data consistency by enforcing specific formats and validation rules, reducing errors during data entry. Additionally, they streamline the process by allowing users to navigate through fields quickly, which can save time and enhance productivity. Finally, using user forms can improve organization, as all collected data is automatically structured in the underlying worksheet, making it easier to analyze and manage. Now, let's take a closer look at how the data we submitted is entered in. For the first page, since it required the names of various items, most of the data we provided is displayed exactly as we entered it, ensuring accuracy and clarity. Now, for page 2, did you notice that we have 3 columns? New data will always be added at the bottom of the last row, and this is how the data is entered. Some of the data, as we mentioned earlier, is converted from yes and no to numerical values for further analysis. Now, for the Form 3 worksheet, this is how the data is converted. As you can see, it's converted to only ones and zeros for the entire row, and you can adjust this as needed in the macro. Lastly, this is how our Form 4 worksheet data is displayed. We started with 2 rows, and now we have 3. As you can see, all our household information is grouped into 4 categories to allow users to carefully edit or use them separately. We previously mentioned these 2 buttons, but now let's discuss the Lock Forms button. Click it and then click OK. A window will appear asking you to enter the sheet name. Let's enter Form 1 questions, but always ensure to enter the sheet name exactly as it is. Do not add spaces where there are none, and do not remove spaces where they exist. When you're finished, click OK, and another window will pop up asking you to enter your desired worksheet password. Always make sure to remember this password. If you forget it, you won't be able to edit the worksheet. For our password, let's enter Nana and then press Enter on your keyboard. Now that we have protected our worksheet, let's try to edit it. As you can see, most of our tabs are now disabled. Let's attempt to enter something in cell D13. When you try to enter any data, an error message will appear, telling you that the cell or chart you are trying to change is on a protected sheet and that you can't edit anything on this sheet. Just click OK. Now, let's see what happens when you enter an incorrect password. Follow the steps to unprotect the sheet using the button. Enter Form 1 questions in the input box and type Nana1 as our password, which is incorrect. Immediately, a runtime error will display, indicating that the password is incorrect. This VBA error will provide a hint about where to check for the error and correct it. Sometimes, it could be something minor. If you want to check in the VBA, you can click Debug, and the line with the error will be highlighted in yellow. For now, let's just click End, and we won't be directed to the macro code. Now let's use the Worksheet tab to unprotect the sheet. Right-click on the protected sheet and then click on Unprotect Sheet. A new window will appear, requesting you to enter the password. Let's enter our password, Nana, and then click OK or press Enter. Immediately, the worksheet tabs will be enabled, and as you can see, we can now make edits in the worksheet. Next, let's close the workbook. Click on Save to save all the edits we have made, and the workbook will be closed. Double-click the workbook to open the user form, then click No to close it. Let's test it again. Double-click it, click Yes, and enter the password. When you're done, press Enter on the keyboard or click OK, and the workbook will open. Now, as you can see, all the data we entered and saved is there. Check the next sheet to verify if the information is present. Go to the Form sheet and click Show Form. Now let's test something new. Use the Form 2 page and select any category for the relation to the household head, then click Submit. Immediately, a date format error will display. This is because we did not enter a date for the date of birth of the son, daughter of the household head. Our date format should start with the day, then the month, and lastly the year. Just click OK, and then manually enter the date in the input box using the required format. Now, if you click on Submit Data, the data will be submitted to the third worksheet in the workbook. Close the window, then click on Show Form again. Just as we saw on the previous form page, the same applies to all the date input boxes. Let's enter something for the district name and then click the Submit Data button. The same error message will display, also indicating how the date should be entered for this page. Just click OK, then click on the Next Page button, and click on the Submit button. The same error will display again. This shows that for whatever you want to enter on the worksheets, you can't do it without including the date. However, if you enter a date, you can skip other questions, as you are not required to answer all the questions in the form. In conclusion, using this Userform template simplifies data entry and enhances organization. By protecting the worksheet, we ensure data integrity while allowing necessary edits. The ability to validate input, especially for required fields like dates, helps maintain accurate records. Each step, from unprotecting the sheet to submitting data, is intuitive and user-friendly. This template streamlines the process, making it easier to manage household information efficiently. Overall, leveraging this Userform will significantly improve your data collection experience and ensure that all essential information is captured accurately.